up? This is Grammy Award winning record producer and recording artist Fanatic, aka Billy Lennox, and you are watching Amplified Exposure Live with Teresa B. All right? Peace. Keep shining, let it shine like a diamond.
What's up, Facebook, Roku, and everybody out there? This is your girl, Teresa B, coming to you live and direct from Amplified Exposure Live. And today I have my wonderful guest, Mr. Paul Anthony. He came on today, not because he's just so dope and he just continuously makes music and continues to be in the industry and breaking people down, but he also came on today because he likes me. So for those of you that are out there, and he likes me. So for those of you that are out there in Roku land, TV land, La land, listen up. We got a good show coming up. Welcome, Mr. Paul Anthony.
What's going on, Lady T? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. You are coming in for season 9, episode 1. That means you are bomb.com.
I like that. Makes sense to me. Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So let's get started with the show. I am so excited. And you know, I'm a little animated. You know me from outside the screen. You know, I got this energy that is way beyond the stars. So I'm going to kind of tone it down today. But I am overly... Okay, well, I'm just gonna act the fool then. No, I'm excited. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited to know you. I'm excited to have you have several conversations with you. I'm excited that you'll be on the next cover of the Heat Seekers magazine. I'm just excited, and I'm blessed that you're here today. So thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate that.
No problem. So tell us about yourself. So I remember as a teenager, and we might be telling our age when I tell this story. But I remember as a teenager watching the video with Lisa, and I'd have my mic on, and I'd get my grandma's wig, and I'd get in front of the TV and do little Lisa moves, because I just knew I was going to be Lisa we day. So tell us, how did it all start? How did you and your brothers come together one day and say, hey, we're going to do this?
We didn't say it. My dad said it. Dad said, this is what you're going to do. In our family, singing and music wasn't an option, is what you did, And so we started very, very young, very early. I think one day my dad heard me singing in the shower. I was 10 or 11. And I was singing a Smokey Robinson song, and he heard my vibrato and my melody, and he stopped, and he was like, "Oh," and my dad's from St. Thomas Virgin Islands, may he rest in peace. So he's a true man from back home, So he would say, "Honey, look, and they could sing, And that was it. So they heard me singing. So next thing you know, so I was born with my voice, and next thing I'm downstairs in the street singing on stand on top of a garbage can, Kingston Avenue, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and I'm just singing, and there's people all around and stopping, and I'm just, my uncles, everybody's just there, and Lou and B, they were in the window just watching, and everything like that, and eventually my dad would teach them how to sing as well. And then we just formed a group with our neighborhood friends, every guy, and we started doing various shows. Got enough time to do the Apollo. I was 12, Lou was 13, B was 8. We did 21 shows with a lot of old school groups, back in the day. And that's how we really started as kids. And then later on, we joined up with our cousins, Kurt, Shy and Baby Jerry, and formed Full Force. So that's how we started. We was the hottest band in Brooklyn at that time. Before we wrote any music, we were just doing shows everywhere. We'd go around, we'd take Elmer's glue and Scotch tape and tape up one of Kurt's dad's cars, his deuce and a quarter, and we go around a bullhorn to all 5 boroughs from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Full force is back. Full force is back. And we ain't even going nowhere, you know. But that's where we was so early on. When we had no money, we still building the brand.
Okay. And how did your dad handle school?
Oh,
while you were traveling?
That's priority. You know, I mean, we did school, and after we did our schoolwork, then we'd put on our performance clothes and go to sleep in our clothes. Because when he came home from his 12-hour shift, he was gonna grab something to eat. Boom, out of the house we go. Walking down Kingston Avenue, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, all the way to Fulton Street, catch the A train, you know, and we get on the A train, and we take the A train, we'll sleep on one another, leaning, knocked out. We take it all the way to 125th Street, get out 125th Street, bam, he dropped the hat, we sing in the subway for hours. And that was routine after homework.
Wow. So now you have all this practice with singing, y'all are the bomb around the boroughs. So
Yep.
when the group came into fruition, did you have someone else that kind of pushed it along other than your dad?
Yeah. My Uncle Cito, early on, he worked even before my dad. Then my dad joined my Uncle Cito, my Uncle Paul, who I was named after. They worked close. Of course, my mom, she was always sewing all our uniforms and everything like that. And then we got with our cousins. A friend of Lou's, Steve Salem, may rest in peace. He was always our co-manager as well. And it was his suggestion, because we was always ahead of our time. We had like a rock lean to our music, which started early on. You know, we had a rock lean, but we had a hip hop attitude and R&B sensibility, you know? So it was like way ahead of our time. People didn't really know how to perceive us, because we was like, damn, figured it out. And Steve said, yo, Paul, why don't you guys start producing groups? Because now we're not going to be as on top of it. And that's what we did. We started working on some music, not for ourselves, for others. My brother B came up with an idea about a girl who kept dissing everybody, and he called her Roxanne. And that was our first. No, actually, that was our second success. Roxanne. Our first success. Steve shared an office, very small office, with a brother named Russell Simmons when they first started. And then Russell, you know, he had Kurtis Blow and Run, and so we wrote the song, They're Playing Basketball. We love that basketball. That was the first thing we did. We co-wrote that for Kurtis Blow. So every NBA season, I'm very happy. You know what I mean? So that was our first success. And then Roxanne just took the world by storm, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how, I think I had to be about 14, 15 years old when Roxanne Came out, because I do remember being in the skating rink and listening to it. It was a really dope hit. But I think it was like 1988, 1989 when I saw the video on BET with Lisa and you guys in the background, kind of what you do. And that's when I became a true fan. Yeah, that's when music really meant something. Yeah, right now we can't really pinpoint what's going on with music, but back then for sure, it was dope.
Oh, it was a glorious time. And we're credited with actually bringing the world freestyle dance music, because that's what started off. When we dropped Lisa, when we put that out there was no Gloria Estefan, there was no Ricky Martin, was no Menudo, was no J-Lo, none of that. We brought that to the world, you know, and that was B's idea. And he came with the idea. B was the first guy to marry the kick drum with the bass line, and he did that intentionally. That's why the whole song dun 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 bum bum dun 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 dun. No one was doing that, you know. And when we drop out, I wonder if I take you home, would you? Man, that took the world by storm, because it was like never heard nothing like that, you know. And it was like, and the funny thing is, we released it in London on the compilation album, and it blew up over there. Then we brought it back over here, and it was like, wow. So then we really hit him between the eyes when we came back with it. Can you feel the beat within my heart? Can you see my love shine through the dark? It was like, what the hell is this, you know? So now there was a huge, it was crazy, you know? And then I wrote a song called All Cried Out, which I knew would last the test of time as well, you know? So there was a huge bidding war between Warner Brothers and Columbia for the guys that created Roxanne Roxanne and Lisa Lisa. So it was a wonderful time.
And I bet it was a very lucrative time because now with music being in the digital world, it's like
man.
It's not
It's,
good for the artist as far
not,
as
man.
financially.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we really got, like, I think we have two of the last diamond albums before they really started going buck wild. So gold is $500,000, platinum is $1 million, and diamond is 10 million or better. So we did the Backstreet Boys and we did NSYNC, you know, and it's like back-to-back diamond albums. Then everyone just went buck wild, you know. But Lisa, she went double platinum, triple platinums, and then you know, the phones wouldn't stop ringing. You know, we was producing everybody, you know, and then we managed all our artists also. So we always came in the business as businessmen to have several revenue streams, to oversee our artists, make sure there was no stuff coming in between. We was very protective, you know. And then we blew the world away because Luke came up with this song, and we did Thanks for my child. I'm really thanking you, the man above. Thanks for my child. My sister Cheryle Pepsi Riley, we also managed her as well, you know, and that went to #1 so fast. And people were shocked that, you know, men did that song, you know. So yeah, we can do no harm there. It was a beautiful time.
See, what had happened was you were supposed to discover me. Did you know that?
Is that what it was?
That's what it was. See, I was out there singing too. I told you I was trying to be like Lisa Lisa. So, you know, I don't know why you didn't come to Boston, Massachusetts and just swoop me up and be like, come on, girl,
like
I could be your man.
Really?
Just like that.
Really?
Now
Wow.
I'm all old and
hey, listen,
what they used to be.
Hey, don't even say that, baby. I tell everybody all the time, you may be old, but you ain't cold. Okay? So, remember that. Keep that in mind.
Thank God I ain't cold.
Okay.
All right. So then all this is going on. Y'all are making it happen with all these different groups, all these different solo artists. And so I'm sure people are like ringing your phone to now be writers for their music. Did you have people like bombard you for requests?
It was ridiculous. It was like send half the money and get in line. It was like that. You know, we had so much productions lined up. We was like lined up for the year. And it was hard because, you know, while we had all these productions lined up for the year, we still had to make sure we do a Lisa album and a UTFO album and a Pepsi album. We did our own Full Force album. You know, we was the first original R&B hip hop band ever. So when we came out with our song, Can You See I Want You Just For Me? Nobody ever heard nothing like that. You know, we was always on the crest of just new sounds, you know, so still doing that, still having UTFO on hip hop tours. We was on R&B tours. Pepsi was doing intimate rooms. Lisa was on pop tours. So it was busy, man. It was busy, you know, but it was a wonderful thing. Yeah.
So one thing I noticed is that all of y'all had muscles. When did you have time to work out to build the muscles? Because every lady loved watching y'all on video.
Right. You know, we always wanted to be different, you know, and I've always been the tip of the sword. I've always been different. I always pushed the envelope. I was always the guy, before we even blew up, I was always the guy that would wear things that others wouldn't, say things that others shouldn't, and do things that others couldn't. You know, that was me. So it was an easy transition to do that. I've always worked out. I've always trained. We all worked out, you know, but I was the one that mainly put it in your face, you know. When we were on tour, nobody was doing what we was doing, you know. I mean, we would end up having to close many tours because I'd be stripping down to just some posing briefs, and I'd be doing my mandatory bodybuilding poses. And when we had a rock mentality, so we telling all the ladies what hotel we're at and where we're at and our room, and just going buck wild, you know what I mean? But bodybuilding and training, that was part of my lifestyle. Still is to this very day. You know, and there were other brothers that was doing it. My life brother, Melly Mel, was in great shape. There was other brothers, LL, even at 16, he was in great shape. But nobody actually put it out there all the time. I'm bench pressing ladies in videos and curling and everything like that. So to know that I've inspired millions in fitness and bodybuilding all over the world is a blessing. And B worked out just like me. That's why doing a house party was an easy transition. We were trained, but I was the one that, you know, was a part of my life. I did it back then. To this day, nothing's changed. You know, when I came in the business, I weighed exactly 212. You know, and to this day, right now, I weigh 214. You know, I can still wear everything I wore back then. You know, so yeah, just keeping it together. You know.
Wow, that must be nice. And for those out there in TV, for those out there, because I can't wear my clothes from high school, but for those of you that are out there in TV land, it is muscles, you know, because you know how they do. They'll be like, oh, Teresa B was on and she said muscles. It was comedy, folks. I just had to put it out there for you. But he did have some muscles, and he's still working it out today.
Absolutely, 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 absolutely.
So once the music got to, and I can't even imagine how it was going from city to city and how the women were reacting to the group. Like, I'm sure you've never had a day or a moment alone without a groupie somewhere around.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a wonderful time, you know, because like I said, nobody was doing what we was doing. I had a rock mentality. You know, we was the only band on hip hop tours, and then we jump off of that and go with Lisa to do pop dates. You know, we surprise her and do All Cried Out, and then after we jump over here and get with UTFO. But I mean, yeah, but the fact that it was a band, but we was playing all this hip hop and with the harmonies, that was my main thing. So it was like, wow. But then after that, just be so extroverted and out there, you know, and just, I did a move called the Alice Sandwich, which really just blew people away. We'd get a girl from the audience and we'd bring her up on stage, and, you know, and Lou would talk to her. Then I would talk to her, give her a smile. I would take her hands. I'd put her hands on my ass. And then after that, I would pick her. Then Lou would come running. Then I would pick her and Lou up together and just start bouncing. You see feet just dangling in the air, you know, that we call it the Alice Sandwich, you know. So that, and then stripping down to just become, I mean, it's online. Y'all want to, you just pull up Paul Anthony makes 14,000 ladies happy. We were doing that. So yeah, it's and you know, to be on tour from town to town and look in the back and you see 2, 3, 4 carloads of ladies, a lot of them wearing headbands, you know, hanging with you in town to town. It was very warm. It was very, very comforting times. Yes.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. So, I mean, did you guys keep girlfriends? Did you get married? Did you have children? Because, like, I'm sure the girls are still.
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah. You know, some did, some didn't. You know, 6 members. Not everybody did. I think Jerry's the only one that didn't have a child. You know what I mean? So yeah, the thing is, you know, everything you can expect in life. You know, we lived a full life. You know, all of it.
Awesome. So let's talk about House Party, because there were 3 parts to House Party. Is that correct?
Yeah. But I think 1 and then 2. I mean, you can't replicate. 1 is just a classic. And the thing about it is, that was our second movie, because our first movie, me and B was in Crush Groove, you know. So that was my first film, you know, beating up my brother Blair in the elevator and Run, you know, that was family. And Lou did Who's the Man, you know, with Dre and the Lover. And then I got a call from a friend of mine, say, hey, Paul, man, Robert Ford Jr., may rest in peace. Said, hey, Paul, man, I got this friend of mine. You know, he goes to Harvard and he wrote this wonderful script. And in the script, it says that the bullies were 3 muscle-bound Jerry curl wearing dudes like full force. You know, because once again, back then everybody wore curls, but because our image was thrice personified, it just, bam, it stuck, you know. So he said, well,
Mm-hmm.
why you have the script? I just called for four. He said, yeah, right. No, I work with them. So Reggie was like, so he said he's going to call. So I got a phone call. He said he was a little nervous. He said, hey man, my name is Reggie Hudlin, and I'm doing this film, and I have this script, and it'd be great if you guys be a part of it. And you were always open minded. I said, yo, Reggie, send it over, man. I was writing for Samantha Fox. Yeah. I said, send it over, man. You never know, because we're always open minded, and I read maybe like 15, 20, maybe 30 pages. I said, okay, this is on, because they got us coming in with like within the first 5-10 minutes of this. What? And I sent it to Lou, because Lou always wrote skits and stuff for us when we were kids, and he's like, yo, we gonna rock this, man. And yo, B, they got you as Pee Wee, and they got me as Zilla. Since you and Paul work out the most, let's switch parts, okay? You be Zilla, I'm gonna be Pee Wee. I'm gonna talk like this throughout the whole movie, throughout the whole set, and he did. I mean, even when it was a shooting, Lou was in character. It was ridiculous. But it was on, man. And every night we'd make up something, and then we show the Heartland Brothers the next morning, and we change up. We literally change up every line in the script. Everything you see us do, we made up, and we showed them the night before, and they would look at each other and say, keep it, because we used to always be at conventions saying, yo, I smell. And I mean, me, Lou, Cheryle, Terry, Jimmy, we used to bug out stuff like that. And then Lou came up with the catchphrase of kick your freaking ass. He did that. And then I came up that night with the scene with the refrigerator. You're running around town like a sucker in heat. You got your silly ass locked in the icebox with nowhere to go. We just was going buck wild, but it was a natural progression. Of course, my family was proud because he had 3 sons. And then next, Kid and Play started changing lines, and Martin. And when I tell you that the wisdom of the Hutland brothers in terms of selecting the right energy and the right synergy of people, because we was one big family. Always, even when we started shooting, we all hanging together. Tisha, AJ, Roof, Chill, Kid, Play, Martin. I mean, it was all tight, man. So it was an amazing experience. We knew it was success, but we had no idea it would last 30, 40 years. And I've seen it in several different languages. I've seen hundreds of people get married and do dance in my type of height. And at the end of the day, my goal has always been to live forever. So that's how we live forever, through what we leave, So, yeah.
You are definitely living forever, for sure, especially on television. Generation, my kids, like everybody knows about
Sure.
House Party, and my youngest one, 15, he's like watched it like 50 times, so he just loves Lou's character. Like he's always talking with Lou, so it's funny to watch. But that was a classic.
It was, man. And just to be a part of it, it's so funny. We talking, it's on VH1 right now. Lord have mercy. Let me just see who.
Really?
It's on VH1 right now.
See, that's the Lord trying to tell you something. He's trying to tell you to make another part.
He said, brother, I ain't done with you. We got things to do.
Exactly.
That's the interpretation, just like that. Yo.
Exactly. So now here we are, what, 30 plus years later?
Yeah.
30 plus years later.
Yeah. We shot that in 89. You shot it in 89, came out in 90.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school. Don't tell nobody.
Okay.
But now, present day, I've looked online and I saw some of the things that you were into and some of the parades and, the honors that I saw Kid and Play get recently, and you're putting some hip hop things together in your community. So tell us what you're up to now. Mm-hmm.
Well, a few things I'm at liberty to speak on, but one of the exciting things, a few of the exciting things. I mean, I just received my honorary doctorate in philosophy and humanitarianism, so that's going to add a little more cachet to my book, because my book is going to be for real. I ain't pulling no punches. I'm not mincing no words. I'm bringing it. I'm saying it. I'm showing it. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm speaking everything from some of the things that we've did back in the day to my 5 wonderful hours with the late great Dr. Sebi and some of the private things he shared with me, and of course, the Godfather of Soul. So it's going to be a real good book. And then I'm very excited to know that we will be doing a full force documentary. We will, and it's going to be awesome because we just cover so many different things. So I'm really excited about that. And then with the mayor's office, I'm part of this wonderful, wonderful bringing the hip hop parade. That's going to be awesome. I think they're targeting in August. Sunny Neal, she brought me on board with her to really get that thing going. So I'm excited about that because it's going to be starting in Brooklyn. We put Brooklyn on the map, so that's going to be special too. And then I got my solo project out right now. I got my single Ready to Learn Your Love. I'm trying to educate some folks how you got to be ready, how you got to unlearn and relearn, and share some fellowship, some womanhood. I started out by saying, the same things you do to get her, the same things you have to do to keep her. I said, but that goes both ways, because we got to feed each other. Do what you do to keep a king, So I'm just dropping some science, I'm excited about the single. I'm excited about a few more that's coming. Yeah, so very, very busy, very busy.
Yeah. So are you single? Are you married? Are you like what's
Yeah,
going
right
on?
now I'm
Now I'm
coming.
in your business.
I know. I was waiting for you to get in my business, get all in my business here. Yeah, I'm currently separated. So yeah, so I'm pretty much single. And but I am engaged to my vision. I am married to my purpose, because the music is the gift, but the purpose is to touch, change, and save lives. Being a cancer champion, beating 3 different cancers and 2 bone marrow transplants, and still being in great physical condition. True testament that he gives his toughest battles to toughest warriors. So right now I'm staying focused on that. Of course, I have wonderful, wonderful friends and wonderful lionesses I share energy, share time with, and build and kingdom build. But the focus right now is how can I do that, sustain. That's the real marriage right there.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So you make me want to
Mhm.
just do all kind. Like I get to the point where I'm like I get overwhelmed because I'm doing so many different things, and everybody's like, keep
Right.
going, keep going, keep going, and I
Oh,
lose
really?
focus. I start,
Right.
I'm start working on this, but I
Hmm.
forget about this. So it's so
Yeah.
encouraging to hear someone that's been through everything that you've been through to still
Yeah.
keep going and still keep pushing. That is amazing. So
Thank you.
kudos to
Absolutely.
you. Look
Absolutely.
at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. We got things, man. There's so much to do. And that's the thing we want to tell everybody. Don't invest in wouldas or couldas or shouldas, man, because life is fleeting. Life is short. You don't know when it's promised. I know that sounds awfully cliche, but it's the truth. At the table of life, I'm leaving nothing on the table. Because I'm greedy like that. I'm a greedy lion. I'm a selfish lion. He knows that I give off and I share, but at the same time, I'm living a full life, because you don't know what's coming tomorrow. So whenever I get with other lions and of course lionesses, but when I get my brothers, I first let them know that we're not each other's enemy. Let's just shed that and then share some fellowship
Mhm.
and then, live your life. Don't be proactive. I mean, one of the phrases to the Paul Anthony Cancer Champion Foundation that not only do I apply when trying to beat the nemesis like cancer, but just in life is proactivation times integration equals eradication. And I'll say that again: proactivation times integration equals eradication. We must be proactive with life, proactive with our love. Don't think about it. Be forward moving. When you're dealing with a life challenge, don't wait because you don't know. And particularly our men, we're the endangered
Mhm.
species, so we need to be proactive. And then integration, sometimes in life it's not about this or that, it's this and that. Especially when you're fighting an elusive enemy, you don't just come through the front door, you come through the skylight, the window, whatever. There's so many tools and gifts that we can use before you go to European medicine. So, and then that's
Mhm.
how you can eradicate disease, eradicate all kind of challenges. I find that the worst cancer
Mhm.
is not lung cancer or pancreatic, or the three that I've had, leukemia, the worst cancer of the spirit. And the way you cure that is with steady transfusion of love and just feeding and giving, you know what I mean? So, you know, just spreading that knowledge and spreading that energy and taking some as well, you know?
Well, I am so glad to know you, Dr. Paul Anthony. You have
Hello,
brightened up
come on
my
now.
day. I am.
See?
Come on now. We got to put
All right,
that title on
that,
there now.
that calls for a
Dr.
song now. We
Paul
used to
Anthony.
have fun. I thought you'd be the one to be by my side forevermore. I was wrong. I thought your love was strong, but it was so weak that I could not compete. Girl, you're such a freak. Oh, you look so good. I wish I could, but that just ain't my type of hype, baby. Me and you's crazy cool. Had to give you one of those, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
We still rocking it. Yeah, we're still rocking the stage, man. We still killing it. Yeah.
It is so surreal for me. Like, I don't think you understand how much I watched your video. Like, I am like sitting here like drooling, like this is really one of the full force members that I watched for years, who is now on the Amplified Exposure Live show. Who knew?
Come on,
with me.
See how life works?
Me.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love your energy. I love your energy. Your communication.
All right,
is
Dr.
wonderful.
Paul. I try to put a light across the world. That's my goal. And I want everybody happy and full as I am. So I appreciate all your positive words. Thank you so much for coming on my show. We'll be looking out for and of course we got the magazine coming out, so everybody will hear all the wonderful things that's in your life. And make sure you get that single. Tell them what that single is again.
Oh yeah, y'all got to get ready to learn your love. It's the video's out. I purposely did a live performance of it. It's ready to learn your love and willing to do what works for you. You can have it your way. Y'all get that? It's fire. I'm performing it. Yes, it's all that. I'm coming.
God bless, Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Is there anything anything you want to tell the fans before you leave?
Yeah. Y'all come look for me, come find me. You know, I mean, I'm on all social platforms. It's, you know, the legend Paul Anthony. You know, hit me up on IG, Facebook, or Full Force Twitter. Come look for me because I'm going to be doing some speaking engagements. I'm coming to your town. So if you want that, you know, find me. You know, it's all good.
All right. God bless. You have a wonderful evening.
All right. Thank you, sweetheart.
And y'all stay safe out there. Okay.
All right now.
Bye.